Welcome to episode 29 of Let's Play Modded Minecraft with me, Grey Duster. And as you can see, I completed that chamber. Uh, just briefly, in case you missed it, I did put an addendum to the end of the last episode. The reason why it wasn't working was that these were responding to the redstone signal. So all I did to actually get rid of that, and I just reworked the cabling a little bit so it's a little bit nicer, is first of all use a wireless redstone, wireless receiver, and just route the cables out here using this one hyper rationing pipe. But there is another problem, and there may be two problems, but I'm not sure of the second one. I'm not sure if it actually happened or not. Depends if your server's laggy. The second problem, what I thought was happening was the ingredients were dropping, it was converting, and then the hopper hock, which is now here with this chest specifically for the purpose with 9 in it at the moment, remember that, 9, is was snatching it too quickly and it was getting deleted. Not sure if that's the case or not. I have plenty of these resources, so if it was only happening occasionally, I don't have a problem with it. In each of these is currently nothing. Importantly, I've just locked these barrels as well. Sorry, that's not the important bit, but I just locked them regardless. I tried to put them in the result in a fourth barrel, the Terra Steel. Fortunately, it doesn't appear like the hopper hock can actually insert into barrels. It just, even if I stick this item frame on the barrel itself, nothing happens. It tries to put it into a chest anyway, and even if there's no chest in range, it still won't put it in there, so what can you do? You've got this chest. I could put the chest in the wall, I suppose. Yeah. Anyway, the other problem, that was the second problem I was talking about with the disappearing stuff. The first problem is the same one I had with the books, and I may have a way to actually resolve that now, so that's something I should probably take a look at, but separately, and I'll update that in a separate episode if that's the case, because that would be cool if that were working. But here it's the same thing. What's essentially going to happen is these are going to fill with this. So it'll only show stuff in this barrel if there's more than 64 in that transfer node. And there probably will be once I get started with this. That transfer node then is going to have 64 in it and is waiting for some kind of signal, or rather around the back. I really shouldn't have got rid of this. In here, there's going to be one of each of the things because of the hyper rationing pipe. All well and good, you might say, because all I need to do is send a pulse and it'll pull stuff out. The problem is that pulse is, for want of a better term, crappy. Sometimes it pulls all the items out, which is what we want. Sometimes it doesn't. It might not have enough time. And the various lengths of time that I can actually set it to is not fine-grained enough to always make sure. Because what's going to happen is, when it takes all these 3 items out, or when it takes the first one out, the hyper rationing pipe's going to kick in and say, haha, there's space for another item, and it'll pull stuff out of those out of those transfer nodes. Not really ideal, is it? You want those to stop working. That's pull for, let's say, 3 or 4 seconds, because it doesn't really matter anymore. And then, you know, maybe a few more seconds later, these can start working again and refill this. And there should never be a system where never should be a time where those cross. To do that, I've had to add a bit more circuitry, and don't worry, it may look a bit more complicated than we've done so far, but it's not terribly more complicated. I'm not connecting this up right now, but effectively what's happening is there's a NOT gate first. It may seem weird to turn it on here and then off here, but bear with me. That's just stopping a timer from running, that's why. If I connected this, it's ready now to actually make more items, because those mana pools have stuff in them, mana. If that was connected, this would start the timer. So we're going to have the timer start running for 60 seconds. Can I explain? Yeah, if I turn it on, in fact, I'll start it running. That timer's running. It goes into red alloy wire with 2 state cells. One set to 30 seconds. The other one with a repeater set to about 4 or 5 clicks. I think it's about 4, maybe 5. Is it's 32 ticks you see on the top, so that's about just over a second. Then goes into another state cell which has 4 seconds. So what's going to happen is this is going to kick in, it's going to start this being on for 30 seconds, and then just over a second later, this is going to kick in for 4 seconds. So if we connect this to our pull chest, where's my transmitter? It's 101. And out needs to be above. I'm being stupid. Out. Above. Try that again. 101. And let's rotate you. Wish the screwdriver didn't have a durability. So what should happen as it comes around again is that should fire. First of all, let's see. You're about halfway through, aren't you? Let's just reduce you temporarily by... There you go. That one's on. And this comes on. 4 seconds. And goes off, but this one's still on. So I can probably increase this a little bit more as it goes round again. Remember, that's still on. This is set to 40 seconds. That's set to 30. I can probably reduce that to 20. That's off again. So watch as it comes round. Nearly there. And you go straight on, and then you turn on. This is the input to the top chest. It's going to say pull all the items out of it. This one, we're going to set up another wireless receiver and transmitter. Do I have any on me? No, I don't. Of course not. And then we're just going to run from that receiver. We're just going to run a red alloy cable straight under the transfer nodes. So effectively, it's going to block them. Then it's going to pull the stuff out of the chest, hopefully. So let's just get in here. We're going to want to shut off all 3. So anywhere here should do. So let's say there, there, there. And the receiver, let's set that to 102, shall we? And rotate you again. So that should turn that on, and all we need to do now is go and put the transmitter downstairs. Let me just disconnect that for a second, just to reset this. I think that's everything. That is out. That is out. Right. So that should now be working. It's gonna actually, let me just what's that timer set to? 40. Yeah, I should have enough time. Let's get there first. One of you, one of you, one of you. Let's actually put 2 in each because we want to test this running. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's 2 in each. And there probably will be 1 in each once it searches for inventory. Yeah, there we go. I may need to speed them up a little bit. There we go. It's blocking them from sending any more, so it should now be dropping stuff. And Terra Steel, which then should get pulled by the Hopper Hawk. Which it has. And that should turn off. Come on, you've got to think that's cool. If you don't, there's something wrong with you. You shouldn't be playing this game. Go play something else. And we should see, again, in another 40 seconds or so, the second set come through. There goes the shut-off. Here they come. Oh, I like it. I like it when things work. I do actually just need to cover them over though, and I hope the extra utilities are multi-part compatible. It's usually at this point I find out they aren't. Where's my saw gone? And I don't like it. I could probably reroute the cabling if they really weren't compatible, but I can fly again. Are you going to work? Oh no, they are compatible. Good, good. Thought they were, but didn't want to jinx it. That's done. Automatic terrasteel. All I need to do now is basically whenever I need more, or I could just load these up, and they'll start dropping stuff. Got to be a bit careful in that if that it might end up running one cycle too many because of down there that signal not turning off in enough time. So what I could do, because that item thing up there takes 10 seconds before it'll get picked up by the hopper hock, I could add further item frames to the other sides of that chest, so that it wouldn't pick it, so that it would also pick up all of these, just in case. That might be a decent idea, actually. I'll do that. There's no need to show that on camera. That's just an extra run too many. So that's a successful build. We've got terrasteel working. I've been threatening to automate these, haven't I? Should I do so? I also want to automate the flowers, or more importantly, not just the flowers, which are in here, the dyes that you can make with them. So that's something to do. Let me go and make a few pieces, bits and bobs, and I'll be right back to see which ones of those I actually do. What I'm assuming would happen, the imperfection in this system is correct. I mean, the redstone comparator down below is reporting to start the system whenever there's any mana, but not enough mana to actually convert them, unfortunately. So the easiest way to solve that is just to, if I just put those in here for now, to compare it with a known signal strength, so maybe 15 or 14. So the system will only start once the mana pools have filled up nearly fully. And I've shown you that in the other system, so I'm not going to do it on camera. We're going to need to move on to automating Livingwood and Livingrock. There's a number of ways to do that, and there's a very straightforward way with other mobs like autonomous activators and what's the other thing called? Block breakers, I think they're called. Hang on. Let's check. Terrain Smasher would probably do the job. There's other ones too. You know, you'd have them underneath around here. They place up a piece of stone, and top down they will break it after a certain timed signal like we've used inside. But I want to see if there's a way to do this using Botania stuff. I'm not sure whether there will be, but hey, we can give it a try. I got enough room for... that's roughly central. Okay, so I want that on that side, and that on this side. Probably share the sides and do them both on one, but yeah, do I have enough room? We'll see. If not, I can make this thing bigger. Where do we start? Well, we start with Let's see if any of them, the lenses, I'm just going to have a look through them, the ball lens in particular. To do this, much of this with the Britannia as possible, the ball lens breaks things and drains mana to do so. So we know we can supply it with mana, but it drains things. It drains its mana to break the blocks. That's all well and good, but it only work in a straight line, and what I could do with it is just put, I don't know, a spreader there with a line here, 3, and something here. Yeah. There's there may be another way to do things. Magnetizing lens. It homes on any nearby blocks that can receive mana. So, I wonder if we can actually tell it to go after certain blocks. You see, if that lens is on a mana spreader, let's say, I don't know. Well, for argument's sake here, I'll start it there anyway. So, if that's just terrible placing by me. Anyway, get the idea. If I can place something on here and tell it to bind to this, I'm just wondering whether it will create a kind of a stream. I'm not sure how this this is actually going to look. Let's just put this one further away. To that side. Yeah, I'm just wondering whether they can create a loop which will break everything. I don't want it to break the daisies though, or the daisy. That's the main thing. Yeah, I've never tried this before. Let's give it a try. If necessary, I can drop back to the block stuff. This would be cool. What's the recipe though? Lenses. Ball lens is a rune of greed, which is spring and water. And spring is fire and water, some saplings and wheat. So let's start with that. Saplings. Wheat. And what else do I have? I don't have a fire. I have 1 water, but I'm going to need more than that. So let me remember. It's 1 nether wart, gunpowder, 1 nether brick, and 3 mana steel, I think. It's just from memory. Let's give that a go. Where's my wand? There we go. Okay, that's me remembering fire, right? Water, it's probably going to be the fishing rod one, isn't it? That's going to be annoying. Okay. So a fire and a water. We want the rune of spring, so... Okay. Okay, that's one of the ingredients. The other one is more water, which, yeah, of course it's going to be that. Alright, need a fishing rod. Sugarcane bone meal. Never want to be out of sticks. There we go. And it was just mana steel as usual. Fine. So that's one spring, one water. And what were the rest? 2 mana diamonds, which I should have some of. Two runes of greed. Mana lens we know how to make. What's the magnetizing one? Oh, okay. So that's going to be simple, yeah. And I believe you can combine the two. That's why I'm doing both of these effects. There are other ones as well. Lots of things like damaging mobs and gravity ones and all kinds of funky stuff. Let's start with the mana lens. So may need 4, may not. Depends if this works in 1 loop or 2. 1 loop would be amazing if it did. We're going to do... Let's just make 2 regardless then. And the other one is some iron and some gold. And will you just combine just by doing this, I wonder? No, does it say how you combine them? It's to take in mind that if using all mana from your receiving a branch there. Two lenses with a slime ball, that's why. I only have 1 slime ball. Composite mana lens, bore magnetizing. Do I have anything else that will turn into slime balls? I might only get 1 slime ball. Gealed green. No. I have purple, I don't have green. No, no. Ah, cactus. Ah. Botania is really cool for some things. This being one of them. And if I don't need this, then I'm going to just be wasting this, but hey ho. Right, so I'm going to need a mana source, aren't I? And I'm going to need to control these things. Is it a redstone mana spreader, or is it the... where is it? Mana spreader. It ceases to function with the reds. Yeah. Case better control is required. Redstone mana spreader is recommended as it can fire bursts without a target block and works on pulses. Yeah, I don't want a permanent thing because that will just break lots of things. So I need redstone mana spreaders, and I didn't check the recipe. Normal one. You're not going to give me the recipe for a redstone? Fine. Oh, simplest recipe ever. just a bit of redstone. Suppose that should have been obvious. I don't have any on me. One time when I need it. Redstone mana spreader. I'm just hoping I can bind these two to each other. That would be interesting. This could end up demolishing part of my building, mind you, but I'm not as worried about that. I can always rebuild stuff. Will that work, or will it need to be facing each other? Let's see how this goes. I need some... let's see what happens first. Okay, so that's going to be firing that way. Can I bind you to you? What happens that way? Now it's just firing that way. Is that going to break the daisy in between, I wonder? Just to be said, I don't have to have the daisy in between. But then I wouldn't need the magnetizing lens to do that. I could just use a bore. Yeah. That should absorb the mana, send it back. All we need now is to supply them with some mana. Oh, I always put my tools away when I need them. And again, this shouldn't have to be in a line. But I do need some mana pools, which need some more. Wouldn't you know it? Livingrock. So I have a mana pool or some Livingrock over there. That would be cool if it would. Let's have a look. I've got 2 pools. That'll do. And I probably want a tablet as well. And a lever. Just to test this out, actually. We'll complete that using something better than a lever. Let's just put you there. You there for now. I can move it later and... oops. Yeah. So if I just fire these, you're not going to go to each other, are you? You're going to go to the mana pool. Interesting. What if I route them the other way around? I just grab you. Break you guys. And face you back this way. What I'm trying to create is some kind of way to route the breaking stream, if you like, through the through where the blocks will be placed. Now nothing's happening at all. Well, they'll be going that way. So it's not homing in that well, is it? I'll look at this and I'll be right back. Alright, I've had to move them one further apart because they were destroying these blocks below as well. But let's see how well this works now. They're facing each other still. I can get them to loop up and above to deal with some more living wood outside, but yeah, it's okay. They're pointing into each other's pools, so that's all well and good. Now, let's see if they break. Yep, and I shouldn't need to power the system because the idea is that these pools will feed back into the redstone mana spread above them, which are currently full. And whenever a pulse comes in, they'll fire off and break the rock. So if we just put more rock above here, I had to add an extra pure daisy from over there, just because it wouldn't cover all four otherwise. So that creates 4 living rock at a time, which is fine by me. I can obviously move this underneath. Now what I really need to do is put this on a timer so it sends a pulse every, I don't know, minute. I don't need that many living stone. And then I need something else to pick this up and plant stuff down. We've already done that before. There's a running carpus and the hopper hock, which we've already done. So I can put one here and one here and have the hopper hock here, maybe with a chest here that accepts only living rock using an item frame, and a running carpus set to stone. Is there any other stone around here? I might actually want to set, I don't know, maybe use marble or block that isn't around here anyway. Set the running carpus to that, and then it will deploy anything nearby on top of these blocks. And then to get that to happen, I don't know, some kind of system to drop stone blocks near the running carpus. Again, it's all stuff that we've dealt with before in the main base. There we go. So yeah, that's pretty good. And we need to have a different block everywhere else. So for now, we can just cover it back in dirt. I think that's successful. Just needs the extra bit of stuff to make. In fact, that might get blown up. Hang on, let's see. Yeah. So you can't have blocks here. Just bear that in mind. Could we use anything else for those? No, because it'll break anything. That's fine as it is. That's working. Just needs everything routed, and I will do that off camera. And here we are, partway finished. I've just put these decorative blocks, Livingrock themselves, in the way, just so I'll probably put living wood on the other side. I've ran the red LOI underground. You'll see 2 pure daisies with, these are our blocks that have been converted, these 4 and no others. We've got a hopper hock next to this chest which has Livingrock on it, specified, and a running carpus. Let's see what happens if I pull the lever. Put a sand muffler in place. They get picked up by the hopper hock and put in this chest. If I then currently manually got 4 stone over there, creates 4 stone blocks, deploys them on top of those stone bricks, because I've underneath the running carpus, underneath this dirt block is another stone brick block. Remember, that's how you configure them to plant things. So that's a functional machine. It's not terribly finished just yet, but oh, that's the wrong block. I wanted Livingrock. Nice decorative thing. I suppose, having said that, it would be nice if that was raised up 1, but yeah, for now, does not matter. Only problem is I can't put anything here, but it should be fine to put something over the top of that. And you know, once we're done, I'll finish it off into a complete wall, if you like, just so there's controls on the front. Now what we want to do is actually, there we go, see? And the pure daisies, they get pulled up, and we keep going, and there needs to be a light there. So the machine is finished, but we need to feed it stone. And initially we could just use another one of our... Got any living wood? Maybe it's in the AE system. Again, our item dropper, and that's not the item dropper. I've only got 2 planks. Have I living wood itself? Yeah, good. Open crates. So if we put this over here, we want it to drop it, yeah, right next to that would do. But we also need to stop it from dropping continually, and again, we only need to drop 4 at once, so I'm going to have to think about that. So here's the complete system. Let's see if this works. Time is approaching trigger. I'll come back to the circuitry in a second, but what we should see is it fire and then drop 4 items. Hopefully. It'll certainly fire, I think. Any minute. Don't leave me waiting. There's it firing. But it's not quite dropping into here. I wonder if the pulses aren't long enough. Which did I just was that a transmitter? Did I just I honestly can't remember if that was a transmitter. I can't remember what it looked like. Okay, it's going around again. Let's shorten it a little bit. Here it comes. Yeah, and it's working. Must have been it must have been two transmitters, which wouldn't be good. I've set these 120 seconds apart, and now let's explain this circuitry briefly. I've got a repeater, so what happens first is this hits, sends a pulse, which sends the firing sequence. It also sends a signal through the 16-tick repeater into a state cell, which is 2.05 seconds, through a NOT gate, which reverses it. Basically what happens is it fires this through, and then it reverses the signal, so this timer will start 16 ticks after this fires. This timer is set to 0.65 seconds, so it has time to go around 4 times through the wireless transmitter, which is connected to the wireless receiver, which drops stone. It's coming out of this ender chest, which is the same one supplying my quarry, ores extracting. And that's a complete automatic system. I can now just pipe the stuff straight out of here. Once it next fires, actually, that will just go into that. Pipe it at the bottom and into a barrel on the wall here. Complete build. I just have to do the same thing on the other side. And I think we're done for the episode. It's been a pretty good one, actually. I quite enjoyed that one. Too much circuitry. You'll probably find an easier way to do this with something like Computercraft. We've not covered that yet, or maybe even RedNet if you're sadistic. Oh, there it goes. Another automatic system. So we're done for the episode. Feel free to leave a like or subscribe. I can still fly, thankfully. Or leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see next, if you want to see new stuff. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Have a good Christmas. Or, in fact, no, this is going to be a few days after Christmas. In that case, hope you had a good Christmas.